Hello, and welcome to Soda Review Channel, where today we will be looking at Pepsi Diet Caffeine Free, or Diet Caffeine Free Pepsi, or Diet Pepsi Caffeine Free. Now, this was launched in 1982 alongside the full sugar variant of caffeine free Pepsi, or as it was called at the time, Pepsi Free and Diet Pepsi Free. They released in the very iconic red and white cans. Probably not a great choice to release a Pepsi in a red can. They made up for it a few years later after, in the next year, Coca-Cola ripped them off by making, okay, that's a bit harsh. They didn't rip them off. I am joking for dramatic effect. When Coca-Cola released their caffeine-free Coca-Cola with an iconic gold and red color scheme. Later on, so far as I can tell, Pepsi adopted a gold lettering color scheme for themselves for their caffeine-free products. I think that's kind of funny that Pepsi did the caffeine-free first, then Coke did it with gold lettering, and then Pepsi took the gold lettering. I guess it makes all of the lines more recognizable for people who can't have caffeine. And I think if either of those companies do get a little upset about a caffeine-free product or having consistent branding across their companies for a caffeine-free product, I don't think that's fair. Because yes, they may have been inspired or may even have just taken the idea. But I think that's forgivable when it's something helpful like that. Sort of like how Coke did Coke Zero, then all of these zero sugar drinks got black coloration for them. Except it makes a lot more sense in the case of caffeine free because, of course, some people can't have caffeine, and that should be distinctly recognizable. But something that I recognize is, yeah, this looks like a standard Diet Pepsi, just without the caffeine. Carbonated water, caramel color, aspartame, phosphoric acid, potassium benzoate, citric acid, natural flavors, and ACK. All the things a growing human being needs. That was a weirdly small puff of air. Normally you get like a. Also, the rim feels a little more thick. I don't know. That smells like a Diet Pepsi. I just had a Diet Pepsi today for a flavor comparison, and the primary characteristic I will be judging this on will be similarity to the Diet Pepsi. The only diet non-caffeinated drink that'll put a Pepsi in your Stepsi. Pepsi, you can use that in your marketing, but call me first. We'll talk details. Yeah, it very much smells just like Pepsi, Diet Pepsi. Wow, that's basically just sweet. I like Diet Pepsi because it has a very rich, complicated flavor. Something I appreciate in comparison to Diet Coke. But man, that doesn't have any of it. Maybe a little around the periphery, but it's way weaker. That's not even iconically Pepsi. That's just sweet nothing. Man, I'm actually really disappointed in this. Hmm. No, no. If we have to judge it on its similarity to traditional Diet Pepsi with caffeine, there's no way this can get a good score. This is not an acceptable alternative Pepsi. This is boring. This is weak. This is not acceptable for that. Maybe this is the formula of Pepsi Zero. I remember that being far less flavorful than Diet Pepsi. Hmm. One thing I will say though, this can art is stellar. I really like it. I like the white coloration. It looks almost like a medicinal substance of some kind. And that's interesting. I think it's a really pretty design. And so that's used for this drink makes me sad. Hmm. They also don't do the gold uh, top and bottom of the cans. That makes me a little sad too. If you're gonna go for a flavorful, no calorie, no caffeine soda, cola rather, I would certainly say you should pick up a Diet Coke instead, caffeine-free Diet Coke instead of this. This is just nothing. I could drink that. I could drink a whole can of that. I could drink a whole case of that. But why would I? I can forgive it being boring if it at least caffeinates me. That's probably an unhealthy opinion to have of soda. It's probably not the best source of caffeine. But more seriously, this is just boring. You're not even getting any good flavor out of it, so why would I go with this over another caffeine free diet soda option? Overall, I have to give that a bad. It's not like so bad that I wouldn't drink it if it were in front of me or if it were all I had in the house, but it's just not acceptable as an alternative to Diet Pepsi. If this were actively undrinkable, I think I would give it a worse score. But since it's at least drinkable, I'm just going to give that a bad.